I'm crazy, Captain!
Yes.
I'm nasty, Captain!
Bro, what?
Yes! I had to get rid of
Nah,
him.
he was being toxic.
Every time, he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him? Just keep him
I don't
banned,
know,
bro.
bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 7. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, joined by my co-caster Nomad. Nomad, how are you doing this fine Wednesday afternoon?
I think that explains it all. Not just that, but had a visit to my chiropractor, so I'm feeling good today.
Feeling loose and limber for an interesting matchup, a middle-of-the-pack battle, WCO versus Fake. And, you know, we got to give the shout-out when we can to the casting homies out there. And Lord Visceral, a new addition to the casting team, a key player of the West Coast Originals, or WCO, that's what that name stands for. And, well, we have both teams ready in lobby, so I think we got to dive into what our pick bands are for the day. Coming in from WCO, we have that Tanker ban, and then over from Fake, we have the Downfall ban. Nomad, I want to get your thoughts on these bans and where it's going to leave us with our map pool today.
That's going to leave us with quite a bit of CQB maps, sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to be having maps like Suburbia, Arctic, Bazaar. There is going to be Paradise, so it is one large map available, but for the most part, it's going to be a pretty up in the face, close quarters battle.
Yeah.
So it should be some good action.
And it's with teams that have not had a cast yet this season. I believe in both cases, both WCO and Fake have not been showcased, so to speak, to the league and the world just yet. And so definitely going to be exciting and a big question mark on today's matchup. What are we going to get? It's going to be fast. That's for dang sure. The first map, like you said, is going to be close quarters, going to gravitate towards close quarters, and it is going to be Suburbia. So we're definitely starting things, well, what could potentially be very fast. I've certainly seen Suburbia played slow. It's possible. It is a strategy that can be implemented, but I would think with both of these squads, we're going to see some pretty quick and practiced plays.
Yeah, WCO, been around since Season 10. They like their close quarters map. Suburbia, Subway being one of them too. They do not take their time. Obviously, if you pick maps like these, you want to be in the face, you want to be aggressive, and just take control of the map right away. So, I do not expect the round timer to run out anytime soon with any of these maps.
And just before we hop into what is the first round on Suburbia, let's take a look at the active rosters for both teams. Over on WCO, we have Lord Visceral, Codemeister7, It's Yokon, Riggs, and Graphex. And over on Fake, we have Pink OG, Satyr6, Mahawes, Felsi, and Michael Higgins. What are the... and again, because we don't really know what to expect out of most of these teams, it is what is most exciting. Fake, new to Season 12 this season, and I'm looking at Pink OG as their team captain. They've only participated on this Fake team in the VRML, so there's no previous experience coming in. But I do see a very dedicated community player here, someone that definitely puts in the time. They've got a lot of connoisseur votes. I'm assuming they're watching the cast, trying to learn strategies and deploy those on their team. So we'll see what we get out of both squads today as we hop in to the action for round number 1 on map 1 Suburbia. WCO on the attack and Fake on the defense.
Yeah, and for round 1, we are going to get the Burning House objective. So a nice way to start off map number 1. And looking like a 2-2-1 split, or 2-1-2 split, sorry.
Oh, shoot, I'm having the map bug, so I'm not seeing the overhead there, but I do see the trade through the center. Satyr and Graph exchanging there, and Satyr is resable, Graph is not, so a bonus there for the Fake squad. Not so much now as Riggs manages to scoop up Pink OG, aggressing on that west side. A big pickup at that, because now it opens up the APC entrance that can get control of this west, the entire side of the west map, and now Fake have to worry about 2 different angles, and Lord Visceral makes a third one there as they find Michael Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins there, trying to get underneath the APC there, trying to look through the tracks, common spot, and Visceral, the experienced player, caught it out. Nice job with the M249. And Riggs there, lane 1 there, taking full advantage of the new gun, the MCX there. So, good to see that now on cast.
Yeah, definitely worth mentioning that while we have changed builds throughout casts so far this season, we are on the newest and live build now, and that seems to be the plan going forward for the league play. So expect to see these new weapons more often throughout the course of the regular Season 12. Of course, I suppose we have a break coming up, so you won't be seeing it after this week. But yeah, it's in, and we'll see how it impacts this WCO attack. A lot of utility coming out towards that objective.
Yeah, they're trying to catch out players from the HESCO at the south side of South Street. It's not going to happen, though. Nice pick onto Yokin from the IC on Burning House. Have to pick back for WCO from Lord of Visceral into Volk House.
Felsi throws a great flash around the corner, completely blinds Visceral. They're able to swing and find the kill. And Riggs had been suppressed, like you said, by their own teammate, and so now Felsi actually gets a little help with that suppressive fire, allows them to rotate out because Riggs is tucked down. But now Riggs is getting up into the 2-story. This line of sight going to be dangerous for Felsi soon.
Yeah, and being last man up, it's very dangerous for him from that angle, but it's probably going to be for the best here if he gets picked off. It's kind of tough to defend this objective by yourself when you're in the port of Burning House.
Oh, Sater might have seen Riggs in there too, so it seems like Felsi is aware of what could be Riggs' potential angle there, but Riggs is going to find the kill. And although it comes down to a close 2v1, WCO scrape away with a round 1 lead on their map pick.
Yeah, excellent job on WCO. Their experience coming through here, trying to take as much control of the map, trying to push together as one. They did get picked apart a little bit there, but for the most part, they did a very good job of just taking away the defense, just especially taking over Volk House there. It's not very common that Marsoc can just take full control of Volk House, because when you have that and Center House, you really do have full control of the south side of the map. So good work for them.
Look at, I mean, wow, this is just, you know, I'm diving deeper into the stats while we have the time, and I'm looking at Fake, and it's just so interesting. It's so exciting to me, someone that's been around in the league for so long, to see new teams come in and have such extreme dedication. I mean, Fake has an entire roster brand new to this league in Season 12. Every player is new. From what I can tell. Maybe I missed one or two, in which case I apologize, but they're new to this league in Season 12, and they've managed to go up to silver, and the reason is because they have taken, I think, a challenge every single week. They've played 2 games every week this season. So they, you know, some teams at the top, for example, have played only 7 games because that's all they have to play throughout 7 weeks of regular season play. But we all allow the teams a challenge, the option to challenge another team and play them that same week, and so they have taken that challenge every week. And I just, you know, to me, it shows that while there may not be experience from previous seasons, Fake is making their own experience now this season, and so we'll see what we get out of this Fake offense with WCO managing to get one now, but I'm not counting out Fake just yet.
Do you want this?
Yeah, and it's good to see these new teams in their first season take as many challenge matches as possible, because this is the time to learn how to play the game from a competitive standpoint. And so this is actually their 14th match then. It's
crazy.
Do the math. And we're, like I said, 7 weeks in, 14 matches. Like I said, that's dedication.
Yeah.
WCO, they're not taking any challenges, so this is the match number 7 for them, but that's okay. They have played since Season 10, so they know, they have a pretty good idea as to how to play this game at a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, it's different philosophies, different approaches. Optimize your wins or go for the quantity versus quality sort of approach. But either way, both are viable, and we'll see, I guess, which one comes out on top this season, as we have a exciting battle folding out in front of us. Yep.
I'm scared of the second story, Sador.
Definitely hearing Pink with the comms there, but also just rotating around by the bush. Oh, and Pink ducks down right as, or Graf ducks down right as Pink pulls out. There's the 2 flashes and I think they get both players. Sidora doesn't seem to be flashed, but Pink certainly was, and now Pink's going to drop back as Riggs shuts down Thelsi, trying to approach from the other side up through the center. It's a bit of a back and forth here. Is Graf going to continue to beat? They are, and there's the trade on that side as Riggs continues to throw rounds downrange.
Sader finds a pick on Yokin in the back of center house too. He should get the pick on graphics here to finish the kill.
Oh, that would have been a great confirm nade. But again, we're tied up 3-3 here. Fake keeping this thing close with WCO as Michael Higgins and Mama Hawes are swinging over onto that objective side. And they have good coverage still. Lord Visceral is here. Riggs obviously up in that 2-story, and you can see that they are looking for that 2-story pick. I think it's one of the most effective defensive positions with this objective. Certainly seems to be one they want to get. Oh, no.
Sader cooking the nade, trying to confirm the kill on graphics, but just cooked it a little too long there. And now they're in time to have a little conversation here without doing much.
They are resable. And so Michael is going to drop back. The smoke is deployed, and it's an unfortunate disruption in the timing, I believe, of this push, because it seems like Fake were intending to push objective right as they lost their one over on the Sader. Thank you. I was blanking on it. Sader over there on that other side. And now Mama Hawes is alone up against the objective. Has to utilize the timing of this smoke to get where they are. And oh no, Riggs.
Box down, lane 3 and
Oh,
lane 2.
catches out Higgins going for the res.
Or the
Sitting
hedge,
deep
the hedge.
here in this 2-story.
And now it's a question of, does Mama chance it, take a pick, and try and go for it, or does he take the other risk
Near the
of going for the
Humvee on the
res?
playground, near the Humvee on the
Looks like he's
playground.
gonna go for the pick here, as he's committed now to going to Humvee and playground.
Oh, there comes the res. We're up to 4. Graphics finally getting picked up as Code manages to get there. Only I think there had to have been maybe seconds left for Graf to be alive. They were down for a long time. But either way, like you said, they have to kind of pick and go for it. As Mama Hawes now giving away the position. It was already called out. Not sure what the approach is going to be here, as they are certainly alone.
Yeah, Mama Hawes looking for a flank in the back alley. In a situation like this, if you're new to this game and you want to know what to do, if you're in this 1v4, a good thing to do is have a game of pick and go. Just fire at the enemy, whether you get a pick or not, rotate to somewhere else.
There's a good one.
Try and be.
Oh.
And a trade with Lord Visceral is going to give WCO their second point. As I was about to say, if you get a pick on someone, or if you even just shoot, a good thing to do is to rotate. Try and rotate to a different part of the map and trying to be unpredictable.
Yep.
Because that is what's going to help you out in these odd man situations.
Either way, a solid start for WCO on their map pick. You know, something that I always do like to point out when a team is excelling out the gate like this. That, yeah, it is their choice. So obviously they picked it because it is their comfort zone. And so should be not surprising, I guess, to see the lead here right now. But these rounds have been close. I mean, even there, managing to find 2 before going down, you know, both rounds, WCO has only had 2 left alive. So when you look at your KD feed, what I'm getting at here is that Fake had some good kills. Actually, 3 out of the 5 are even on KD, despite them being down 2-0. So, you know, they are still in this as far as I can see. And this next round, very important. As we go to a easy to defend objective, back tucked into the garage. They can grab this one, they can stop the bleeding as we get into round 3.
Yeah, this objective being the Volk House objective. You're basically backed up against the wall, and all you have to do is just control South Street, because they have to cross the street to get to the objective. If you can control that street, you can control the objective.
And just taking a gander at the overhead, you can see that it is a bit of a slower rollout for WCO. Well, as I say that, Graphics is making their way up through the center, but everybody else playing it cautiously on their edges, maybe expecting some counter aggression, but it is not coming from Fake. And if anything, Graph a bit ahead of the rest of their team as they look to potentially start to take control. Oh, and now they're certainly been given away as the call-out comes in from Sadar. Enemy underneath.
It's very difficult to be very sneaky in this game now. You have to be going almost as fast as what Graph is doing right now to not make a single footstep. So it's very difficult, and it's very time-consuming to try and get somewhere without making any noise.
They have effectively cleared out some important elements of this downstairs, though, and gotten rid of Michael Higgins on that bottom floor. A quick kill back from Thelsey as this Yokin goes down. And we keep it into a 4v4. And now certainly Graphics position given away. Utility coming down in their direction. And we'll see what the rest of this play looks like as they get rid of another defender there. WCO in a 4v3 now. And they've lost their two-story defense, which is one of the more important elements.
Yeah, but they still have Momo West here, who's in kind of a last man standing position over at the dumpster. Basically, anyone who wants to get to objective has to cross their line of fire. So still a defended objective, but not as well defended as they wish it was.
Yeah, those two inside that middle building are very important elements. And Graph actually dropping off, committing to trying to get rid of them is, I think, really allowing this defense to stay strong.
As the two have a bit of a conversation in middle house. Zader almost has an angle onto Graph.
2 lane 3.
Was that a nade? Oh, it was a nade, but not quite where it should have been.
Yeah, and you know, while it is all kind of jest, this is also somewhat tactical. You know, like you said, Sadar was looking for the pick, trying to catch one of them, kind of getting a little bit lazy. Riggs is suppressing up top. This is a great push from WCO. They have the smoke for sound suppression. Riggs dumping rounds through the window to force Pink to stay tucked in, and Graphex is making the way up. The question is, are they going to be ready for Sadar in the corner? No, they're not. 6-6 is there to find the refrag. Mahaway's going down with a great nade.
This is the time to cap. Just put smoke on in front of the windows there and go for cap.
Oh, everybody has eyes on the Sadar, though. All of them looking for that final kill. The cap certainly could have been it, and that would have been map 1 4-0 into the hands of WCO. But we are instead here 3-0 with Fake given an opportunity to bounce back. A long bounce back is what it will be, but it is still there and available. We'll just have to see what their attack looks like. But I mean, again, just looking back, WCO, they're looking very coordinated right now, and it is what is getting them these round wins.
Yeah, and you can see it. It's all because of their experience. This WCO team, their roster hasn't really changed much, if at all, since they were formed back in Season 10. So you can tell they've been playing a lot of hours together, and that's where you're seeing that the coordination, and yeah, it's working out in spades for them here.
It's kind of an interesting note. I feel, I guess it does sort of range. Obviously, Fake is here at this MMR in their first season, but I feel like it's at least a season or two to really develop your team fully, you know, to really have that complete confidence in each other and understanding. And I do say that, of course, with the knowledge that we have had teams come in and win seasons the same season that they've entered. So, you know, I'm not going to exclude or count out any new players, especially. And again, I love to see what I am seeing already. You know, this is a great battle right now in the silver division, the middle tier of the regular season ladder, and both of these teams are putting out a good coordinated effort. You're hearing the comms from Fake. They are active, they're there, they're focused. But WCO is just a little bit more synced up, and their utility is connecting right where they need it to. So we'll see what we get in what could be the final round. But with the desk pop there, Fake give away their spawn. And while it isn't terribly important on Suburbia, it is still an element.
It is, yep. If it's a map like Downfall where the spawn is very critical, It could be it. And the desktop, sorry. Very typical if you have people handing out drum mags. If they have like a stock, they may bump their trigger or something, which is kind of what we saw here. Mama West with the SA80 handing out drum mags to his teammates. I guess one member swapping out the drum mag and just accidentally hit the trigger, and end result was pre-fire, a little bit of a pre-fire, or I guess it would be unintentional fire.
A desk pop.
The desk pop.
Into round 4 we are, though, and Fake setting up for their attack pretty quick. Both Pink and Mama getting over onto this side as they now look for any sort of defense. Graphics getting aggressive on the west does get one, and it does key in the rest of this defense to be ready. But if they tuck in here, that could be a great position for Graphics to find even more.
Yeah, Graph being in a very uncommon spot, but still a powerful spot nonetheless.
Flash coming up.
I think that should have gotten Icy.
Did not get Satyr.
Unprepared for Satyr. No. Great job from Satyr, recognizing the threat and take him out.
Building.
2 going down now as Mama Hallways finds another, and Fake, I think for the first time in the series, have a kill lead. Now let's see if they can capitalize off of it. Again, an important round, obviously. If they lose this, it's map 1 locked in for WCO. They need to at least start the coal, put the coal in the engine of the comeback train. Certainly seems like they're trying. Yeah, Satyr with another kill. It's a 4v2.
Yeah, and what will really help him now is a confirm onto Riggs as he's on the front lawn of center house in a very centralized spot, able to make some pretty good callouts for his teammates inside Volk house.
Yeah, they need to, basically a radio beacon that they need to get rid of there so that WCO is a bit more in the dark, because for now, those comms are allowing them to stay tucked in and not peek out and not get picked off by what is a wandering Fake team. They are sort of looking for anything else before they start to make their push towards objective.
And I'm liking the setup here. We've got Icy in lane 1. We got Mama West near Burning House on the south side of the street. Then we got Satyr and we got Pink OG in Middle House. They're enveloping Volk House. With the right amount of smoke and other utility, they could probably overwhelm the defense and get a cap here.
Took me about a full 30 seconds to process why you were calling them Icy. As I had been reading it, they'll see. But the Icy makes sense.
One thing to note about the Icy, though, is he's not only a player for the Onward VRML, but also Echo Arena VRML.
You love to see that. The cross-pollination, something we've seen more and more of as that quest support has been integrated and continues to be an element that players enjoy a lot. Ooh, good nade for more Visceral, up and over, and does not connect with Satyr. That one does, though, or at least those bullets do. Codemeister goes down, and now Lord Visceral is the last alive in a spot that is commonly, like we saw last round, fragged. And so they are fortunate enough that they are still alive now. But with 4 up, man, if there was any smokes here to be deployed, there really is an opportunity for cap on this objective for Fake. And that's the way to bounce back, right? That's the way to put the coal into the comeback train engine.
Yeah, you get their first 2 points, and you get that major morale boost, which is kind of an unforeseen benefit in the team for caps here. You want to, you don't see major morale boosts from like a kill win like this. You see it from the caps. These guys will be on fire now. They'll be happy to see this, finally get a point on the board. But if they would have had a cap, I can only imagine what they'd be saying inside the tent now.
Yeah, no kidding. This game's so much, obviously, about your skill and knowledge of the maps, but it is also a very mental battle, you know, especially as you try to climb this ladder, this ranked ladder that we have in the regular season. You really have to constantly evolve and grow as a player and strategically be adaptive and change how you play rounds. And so, you know, we'll have to see what Fake can do now. Like you said, they've got 1 on the board, and that momentum can change your mentality a lot. 7-3 for Satyr. if Seder comes alive next round, as they have been this map, they could be a key element in keeping Fake in this. But if they go down early, it's going to be a big kill for WCO because the energy, the momentum, sort of harnessed in one or two players there.
Yeah, but they have to be mindful of Riggs, who is 7-2, as well as Lord Visceral and Graphics, who are both 5-3. So
yeah,
there are some big-time killers on both teams here. So they all have to be very mindful of one another if either one wants to win the round. And I'm liking the spawn that they have for this new objective here, which is the playground objective. You can't really get caught out by the free fire, but you can also get set up for a pretty good attack.
I see putting some rounds down range. It's going to cost them a mag. They'll eventually have to reload. No, oh no, they have the drum mag there. Maybe that, so plenty of ammo to go around, and that's that pre-fire there intended to suppress the west. And like you said, that spawn, fortunate that they didn't get susceptible to any pre-fire, because this objective can get crazy right out the gate. The way WCO is playing it, though, it seems like we are in for a bit of a slower pace, and I say that thinking that maybe this round will end with probably 2 or 3 minutes left on it.
Yeah, so far they're having that nice controlled push. Riggs in lane 1, slowly making his way around. Yokin in lane 2, just watching for an aggressive push. Same with Lord Visceral, who's watching lane 3. Graphics and Codemeister watching lane 4. So they're all just looking for those picks that will not come unless they start peeking out.
Chelsea peeking out there, nearly getting tagged by Riggs. Shots through the wood. A lot of penetrable cover here, and we're now seeing utility starting to come in. That frag goes a bit far. These smokes a bit far as well, but that one is beautifully covering that center gap, though, and so it should deny some vision to some extent. Another great smoke denying vision. That's the frag up and over. That's going to catch Chelsea.
Great job by Graphics there, IDing the potential spot for the Icy and dropping the nade pretty much right where you need to be. That's actually got pretty good.
The push is on, though. Graphics is here. Yeah, Pink on the outside can find both of these kills if Graphics and Code aren't ready, and they are not going to be ready for Pink here. Down goes one. No, it's Yolo goes down. Graphics still somehow alive. Pink should be ready to challenge this on the corner as they are the lone defender. And they find Graphics with the kill. Pink OG with a triple to keep Fake in this map 1 as it's a 1v1 Pink versus Riggs.
I wonder if Graph is trying to reload because he came out with a pistol there to try and take out Pink. So M9 versus AK-12. Take your pick. Who do you think is going to win that one?
Yeah, tough choice.
It's all down to a 1v1 now. It can go either way here.
Yeah, and this is definitely when the pressure gets on. You get to kind of see who excels in these scenarios as both Riggs and Pink have the map on their shoulders. Oh, and that's a good nade that goes just a bit too far. Pink survives another day. Does not survive the bullets as Riggs finds the kill. WCO are going to lock in map 1 with a solid 4-1 performance.
Yeah, good job on to WCO for winning the map, but also good work from Fake for they by no means made this map win easy for WCO. You can see it almost came down to a lot of 1v1s, not 1v2s. So even though they're new to the game, new to the league, sorry, and new to all this, it clearly did not show in their performance here as they put up one heck of a fight.
Yeah.
First, Serbia.
Very impressed by the showing here from both teams, really. Both squads, again, coming in with good coordination and... You know, it just goes to show you the depth, I suppose, of that ladder. We have, I think, now over 100 teams. But there's just so much skill across all of those teams, no matter really where they are. I think it is what I really do enjoy about the VRML, what I've really started to realize as we've gotten so many new people into the league, It's so fun to watch games across all of the ranks because you get good play regardless. I mean, these teams want to win, and the way to win in a game like Onward is good communication first and foremost. And so I think, you know, you can kind of tell a brand new team to one that's starting to figure it out based off of those comms. And both of these teams have their comms going and active. And so, you know, like you said, I think Fake is still very much in this. They've been playing well and close on Suburbia. Their comms have been good. And so they now get their map pick as they are the away team. They pick second map, and they have chosen Subway, which, you know, is not a choice I get it, because while it is still close quarters, it's very different than how you approach a map like Suburbia. You know, there's none of the gaps in there's no shrubs to shoot through or walls to be shoot through. There's really just a lot of great there's C4 really becomes a key element on a map like Subway. And so I think could be a deciding factor in which defense does best, which one is going to use those C4s effectively.
Yeah, as well as communication and coordination. As you mentioned about the communication here, again, yeah, like I said, lots of great communication from both teams here.
Yeah.
And from a new team, you often, when you see new teams play, the radios are usually pretty quiet. One of the reasons is they're so focused on what they're doing. They're not focused on what their teams are doing. And usually they want to try and stay stealthy sometimes, which is not always the best thing. But, you know, then again, it does work sometimes.
Yeah.
So
it's all about that. I guess that's where experience comes in, right? Knowing when to communicate and when to not do it. To some extent, some players value comms over everything. And they will communicate regardless of their position or how the attack is going. And it works for them. And so, yeah, again, it is up to the individual player style, I suppose. And I'm looking at the rosters. Was Codemeister in last round? Okay. So no subs then from what I can detect on either side. Both teams sticking with their same 5. Which is, I suppose, interesting. But, again, to go back to the point, they are... you know, despite Fake losing, they are warm. You know, like a lot of kills coming through, and so I don't know. I don't know what to expect again on Subway with these two teams not having broadcasted before, especially Fake being brand new to this season. I just don't know what to expect. And with Subway, yeah, this could be interesting. You know, we could see some new off-meta positions that. It could turn out to be meta just a few weeks from now. You know, it's these, especially new players, always are sort of rooting around for, you know, the best spot or best position. But
we're gonna find out right shortly.
Yeah.
Though. Round 1.
Enough stalling.
You did good there. You did enough stalling there. You did pretty good there.
Enough stalling from me. Round 1 kicking off as we dive in to the action on Subway. WCO on the defense, Fake on the attack, and we kick it off with the South Stairs, one of our newer objectives, and Fake getting a fast spawn. We are going to get some quick action here.
Yeah, and I did see one member of WCO have C4, so as I mentioned, the criticality of C4 could be seen here. Wow, nice double from the Lord Visceral there.
Really nice play there. That is key and something you have to be ready for off that quick spawn. If you're going to be challenging that corner, you got to be ready for someone to also challenge you. It's sort of a risky defensive rollout if you do want to push up and have guns there, but it, well, clearly pays off for WCO.
God, bro.
Yeah, Icy and Michael Higgins expecting a quick push out together. Unfortunately, it backfired being that close together. They managed to just walk into their line of fire. And it looks like ID Crisis and possibly Satyr are having a little conversation on either side of the wall there in Chinatown.
Yep, one of the spots that you can hear footsteps and stuff. It's a great defensive spot to be for that reason. You can identify people rotating on that side, and it allows you to radio in that information to your team. And off of these comms, Visceral is trying to capitalize. The flash, I don't think connected with Mama Always there, but the trade actually goes the way of Fake, and so a very important, successful trade for Fake. The res should be able to come through from Satyr, and oh no, we stay to what now is a 1v4, but what could be a 2v4.
Yeah, he's got the potential to go for that res, but ID Crisis. Look, he was going to be pushing for the flank, but it
That's
looks
another
like
one
he
here.
backed
That's
up to
3.
the
That's 4. One left.
objective,
One left.
which is smart for him. It's always better to stay and hold the objective because you gotta wait for them to come to you regardless. But everyone now just holding angles.
Guy over where she's dead, I'm not sure about the
Satyr and ID Crisis still trying to negotiate.
Fuck you, flat! Oh, I fucked up.
Yeah, the flash not successful there, and I think it actually hits themselves. They're gonna have to drop back. Code is pushing off of all the information that Satyr has been giving them with the comms, and they're gonna find the kill. WCO come into map 2 feeling confident off of the 4-1 Suburbia win, and right away kick things off with a Volk W and a 1-0 lead.
I'm curious as to why the res did not come out. I wonder if he was just concerned about the flank there from Codemeister, or maybe he wasn't aware that the res was available. That could have been pretty big there. But I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we can't get inside their brain, but it is. Well, I suppose we'll be asking a lot of. I assume we'll be asking a lot of questions off of this round here today. Seeing again some strats that maybe will be new. That one deployed there by WCO is not. That defensive rollout, one that is common. They're lucky that there wasn't a C4 that came and caught 3 right away. Oftentimes you'll see utility deployed onto that corner just out of an abundance of caution. But
Yep.
nothing like that occurred, and they instead do lose 2 right out the gate, so that's still not optimal. And I'm not even sure. The only solution really for Fake is to lock in this next round. It's obvious enough, but right now WCO has so much momentum, and we talked about that earlier, where they were just riding a wave. And if Fake can quickly shut this down
I don't know,
as we
man.
get into our next round, it'll be a great way to put a dampener in that momentum. Round 2 kicks off. We'll see what Fake do on defense. And it is going to be a fast spawn, so maybe they'll catch some early action again.
Yeah, and as WCO showed in the last round, this is a defendable objective. I seen more rounds won in favor of Volk to have a Marshall. We could be seeing a time after this round.
We're gonna have to yell over the multiple suppressive LMGs
Yeah.
dumping rounds downrange here. Pink is tucked in deep to the corner and playing a patient C4 deployment that is gonna catch at least 1.
A well-placed C4 and a nice position for him to be in. ID is aware of where he is, but he has the remote. And here comes Satyr. Could he get 2? Trades with 1. And Pink
Pops
gets
out.
the other.
3 dead in total.
A nice shutdown by the duo there.
Yeah, a very disciplined defense that works well against that over-aggressive WCO squad. And now Graphex up next into the challenging lines of fire of both Higgins and the Icy. Not going to be an easy push-out. Going to need some effective utility. Almost gets killed for throwing it out there, and both are safe from that frag. So an ineffective piece of utility as well. It is going to make that peak impossible. And now it's all up to Codemeister, I believe identified by Mama Haas, and is going to drop off of that attempted push up the stairs.
Yeah, just a little over aggressive on that quick peek there, and that was the cause of the death there. But it was a good attempt, trying to get flashbang, trying to blind the opponent, trying to get those picks there. One thing I was surprised to not see was C4. That is a common location for C4 to be in. So, but still a good job for the duo of Icy and Higgins to shut down that Horn Shop Alley push.
Yep. Onboard Codemeister, it looks like they are committing to that rotation up to that alley. A interesting one at that. Really, obviously the opposite side of the approach there. So if Fake have an accurate kill count, which it seems they do, they heard Pink call out 3 dead, and they obviously know they just killed 1 on the corner. They should now know that there is only 1 left to defend, and so maybe there's a route. I just don't even see a real route that's going to be very easy. I mean, it's going to have to be some great utility deployed from Codemeister here to get them these kills, to open up even the ability to push up to objective.
Yeah, from what I can see, even if he just puts utility on where Higgins is and starts making his rotations, he might be able to get there in time to get a pick onto Pink. Say that 10 times really fast. And then bounce back maybe to get to Michael Higgins and just go back and forth, a pick and go kind of game. And hopefully they might be able to get their second point from that. But we'll find out within 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm off on my prediction. But we'd be done with this one by now, but we're not. As Codemeister tries to extend it out just a bit and really plays this one patiently now. A bit too late, I think, for patience, though. Obviously, when you're alone, it is probably the only time, or one of the better times to be slow, though. And so, don't blame Code at all for taking their time here on this advance. But what is good to see here from Fake, that they are playing a disciplined defense, recognizing the opportunity to get at least a solid Volk round under the belt here. They are staying disciplined around the objective, and it is what's going to make this push, I think, impossible for Codemeister, because they are all just staying locked into their angles.
Yeah, it's very tempting when you're in a 4v1 to send one guy out, or maybe 2 guys out or more, to try and find this remaining attacker, and that can often lead to your the defeat, as you're sometimes handing your life away to the enemy and making it that much easier for them to attack the objective. But like I said, it's good to see these new players in the discipline game hold their angles and really forcing Codemeister to utilize all what he's learned over the course of the past few seasons to try and get this round win with just under 90 seconds left. He does have a flashbang though, so he could just try and flash Higgins and try and get that early pick if possible, but then again, he's got the Icy there to back him up. But I guess we'll find out within 10 seconds.
Yeah, just a matter of time. Again, as the IC stays disciplined on their angle, Fake get it back on the board and put their second point up on the day as they tie things here. Maybe an opportunity to bump up and snag a lead on their map pick if they can put a Marsoc round on the board. For those obviously maybe not in the know, we switch objectives every 2 rounds. And so our next OBJ is the marketplace. And man, this is a, there's only like 2 objectives that I think are really easy to defend on Subway. Most are really a challenge to properly hold.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
Yep.
You have, even though you only have 3 approaches, there's really no one spot you can be in that can cover all 3 potential capping points. So it's really a team effort in this objective location to defend it. I've seen a lot of smoke caps, a lot of quick caps. I've seen a lot of sneaky caps on this objective. So I'm expecting a cap. Maybe not on this map, but I'm expecting a cap at some point in this match here.
Round number 3 kicking off.
That's fine.
Apologies for the cam going black there. Round 3 kicking off as we go back into the action.
Alright, so you're gonna take dumpster. or you're gonna take it
WCO on
to the right?
defense, Fake on the attack, and they are getting that north side spawn. If they choose to push up the north stairs, it could be a quick push, but instead they are going to swing over all the way to that south, and so a bit of a slower round here than the others. And I wonder where that C4 went. Did it go onto the wall there? It did.
Yeah, seen a bit of a standoff almost between ID Crisis and Mama, where Mama's actually sitting at the base of the stairs by the cucumber juice machine and waiting for a flank from ID, and ID's holding out with a C4, I believe, and waiting for him to appear. So, bit of a standoff there.
Yeah, it's probably also comes down to the setup play of Fake. Fake making 2 up through that catwalk. You also have Pink OG making their way a little bit too fast, it seems, up through that Sex Alley. And Sador, who hasn't pushed up from underneath yet, needs to time their push with Pink so that they are both charging this alley and challenging Riggs simultaneously. It's going to be an important element that they line up, and they are communicating. So it seems to be that is going to be the plan when they push out. And again, you look at the overhead, it looks like a 2-2-1 split here.
He's in that little corner.
And they're really got to flush Riggs out because he's kind of tucked into a little cutaway in the wall there. So it's going to be awfully tough to actually do a pinch, but it's possible just to flush him out. Flashbang may have gotten Riggs there. Now he's got to try and find him.
Oh. Right as they drop.
Just as the gun goes down, Riggs comes out with his gunshot, but a quick refrag from Pink. Even things up 4v4.
Information, though, as Graphics now hears Pink, hears those comms. They're going to try their hands at a nade up and over the dumpster, and it doesn't go far enough. The flash is up next. That one, I don't think, connects onto Pink, and they're able to... Oh, it does. Pink blind there. Has to drop back, and now Graphics can retake control of the angle and wait for Pink to try and peek out here. Meanwhile, chaos.
Yeah, with a nice double pick there at the horseshoe alley there, and then Pink with his kill onto the dumpster in the south alley, making it a 3v2.
Oh.
But still in favor of WCO.
Oh.
Wow, what a nade!
A fantastic talk. Mama Always and Pink are pushing into objective together, and they have a 2v1 lead right now. Codemeister is there and defending, and they are actually at... It is cappable. You can cap around the corner there, and Codemeister recognizes and this has to push up to objective and make sure that it's safe. Finds one, can't get the second. Pink bounces back, finds the kills, and Fake take the lead for the first time this series on their map pick 2-1. And heck, maybe we're on pace for a 4-1 reversal here on this map if Fake can manage to muster up a couple of solid rounds.
Great work at the end there, even though with limited personnel and being outnumbered by a man count of 3-2, they still persevered and getting those picks there right at the very end. The cap was actually open. I'm not sure if who was it? Was it Pink? Yeah, I think it was Pink there. Could have been open to get the cap at the corner of the wall, just south of objective. But sounds like he must have thought ID Crisis must still be alive at the north alley there because he was so focused on there. I thought maybe there'd be a team kill there, but with
I know, right?
Good coordination and good rotations, got the final kill, and yeah, a good round win for Fake there.
Another North spawn for WCO this time as we go back into the action for round number 4 of map 2. Fake with a nice 2-1 lead. Go up on the defense, and man, what an opportunity for this team to put up a 3-1 scoreline here on their map pick. A really good job of bouncing back, like you said, on that last round. They now need to capitalize, string some together, continue this streak that they have going.
Yeah, and Mama Haas was going to push up towards North Alley, heard a few footsteps and multiple players, so decided to fall back to a more defensive position, which is a smart thing to do, as he's up against 3 players of WCO. Back and forth now between the two of Mama Haas.
Yeah, we got to keep our eyes split as Higgins has pushed up pretty far too and is not going to hear this rotation from both Graphics and Codemeister. Codemeister has found one already. Pink is tucked in and waiting, and they are able to get a quick refrag. Graphics is here in the alleyway, and Pink doesn't ID them on that swing out, but Graphics is pushing in loud, so Pink should hear the footsteps. And again, we got to keep our attention split. Pink finds the kill. We immediately snap back over to the other three as Mama Hasana keeps these three suppressed.
Yeah, Pink there doing a good job. Must have heard the pin be pulled on the utility there. Push out in the right time to get the pick there, and now it's just I was going to say a 4v3, but I think it's a 3v3.
Yeah, an interesting choice there from Mama Hollis. It seemed like they were out of LMG ammo, and then just kind of committed to a pistol charge. And, you know, staying in that corner is effective and pausing the momentum of that team like WCO. And so, you know, now that they've lost that control, you can hear a little bit more panic in the comms. We'll see if they can effectively defend this. Higgins going to consider peeking out here. Doesn't even see Crisis in that dark corner. The nade hopefully does the job. No, it goes too far. Visceral flies around and catches another. And now a great smoke wall is denying Fels the Icy any vision. And a cap could come through.
Yeah, multiple players peeking around the corners, hungry for the kills, hungry for that third round point. Ultimately led to their deaths and the loss of the round there. And like you said, just a player's sheer presence in a certain spot, or any spot really, is enough of a defense to really, because you're forcing the attackers to commit time and resources to try and get rid of that player, or at least get around them. So the peek around the corner with a Makarov, like I said, we can't really read their minds, so we don't know what was going on in their heads. In the heat of the moment,
I mean,
you can only assume that,
pressure's
who knows
on.
what it was.
You're being suppressed. You know, you don't even, maybe you're thinking, oh, time's almost up, I need to get out there, and, you know, you just kind of go for it. But either way, we're tied up now. WCO bouncing back nicely, and we're certainly seeing a specific style from that WCO offense. It is fast. They are very committed to playing quick MARSOC rounds, and I wonder if that's something WCO will start to try and react off of, you know, almost anticipate that over-aggression. And, I'm not sure what the solution is other than really just stay disciplined. We've seen them win rounds successfully off of just staying disciplined on their defense side. And so we'll see what we get out of WCO, the rest of this map. It is their map pick, or excuse me, out of Fake, it is their map pick. But they all go on the attack now. We change objectives to the basement, one that is certainly difficult to effectively attack.
Just like Chinatown objective, there's only 3 approaches. 2 of them are staircases, and all 3 approaches are effectively choke points, whether it be a tunnel or a stairwell. I see there's some C4 in regards to, I can't recall who it was. Looks like Riggs there, but a well-placed C4 to stairways can really shut down a push. It'll be interesting to see how they attack this.
Sometimes see a C4 placed up in this lane that Graphics is currently challenging, but instead Graphics is really just committing to a very aggressive rotation and to get themselves into position, nicely pushed up behind the diesel containers. And this is going to be a great spot to hold from the basement. Fortunate that they were able even to get to this position, because they could have been scooped up by the likes of Pink or Satyr if they had been holding these angles a little bit sooner.
Yeah, Graphics holding a nice sharp angle over the cans, but he can hear Pink here moving along, so he also has a secondary angle to cover. The only thing worrying me, though, is if Graphics goes down, there's really no one there to really support him and get that quick refrag, which can often lead to a great round win in if you're playing bulk. Yeah, look at Nate.
It could have been a nade to try and get rid of C4, but it seems like they're somewhat keen on someone being here. Maybe they heard footsteps from Graphics. Pink OG able to find the kill on the swing regardless, and I don't think Graphics maybe are anticipating someone challenging them like that. But that extended defensive position, maybe not necessary, as it has cost them one early defender, and they're out the gate into a 5v4.
Yeah, and the next player to really challenge those particular attackers is Lord Visceral. Lane prone, at the railway tracks, and a very what used to be a very difficult spot to ID. There's a recent update here with there's now doors at the end of the tunnels with lights, so a little bit easier to ID the black clothed Volk defenders, but still you have to try and identify them and get that pick off. So still not the easiest to do.
Yeah, the prone position where Visceral is here is great. They have almost quarters cover with that ramp to not bullets the ability to hit the legs. So it's a very effective spot, but one that is often challenged as well. Just like maybe that corner on Suburbia, this is one that players know well, and so it's not exactly safe. Just because they're camouflaged here does not mean that they are going to be able to come out of this unscathed.
Flash blinds Codemeister, who is not in the most popular locations, but still a pretty effective flashbang.
Oh, there's a swing. Almost gets both. Fortunate enough that Satyr is resable. Pink finds the kill
I'm down.
and can scoop up Satyr here.
Proning? Yeah, I think they're proning in the middle.
Oh, wow. And off of the comms from Satyr,
I got him.
Pink finds the kill. Pink is going to go out and get the res. They
So
thought
to res, we have
for
three.
their client, the body was farther out in the center. For the spectator, it
good.
looked like Satyr was right on top
Didn't
of
get anyone.
Pink. And so that's why they had to get that kill,
one more smoke.
or thought they did, or probably did, to be able to get to that body that was actually out in the middle of the street there, in the middle of the train tracks. And it's been a big kill now as they've opened up this side. Fake have 5 alive on the attack. WCO not looking good on defense. And oh no, a team kill. Maybe you're going to make that down to 4. A quick res should pop it back to 5. And man, if there are smokes to come down here, now's the time to deploy them. They could get a cap.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about the cap, but it is ready to be challenged.
Yep. Crisis. And that's great play from them. They recognize they are the final defender. And oh, a disconnect throws things down to a 2v1 as there is that res available. A kill coming through. And wow, Fake. Just need to sync up. The Icy just needs to come down the stairs and help Pink.
Yeah, Pink needs just to hold off a bit. Icy needs to kind of really get that revive onto Higgins, who's not too far away from him.
Right there. And
Unless, but then again, like I said, there's client view, so I mean, who knows? Maybe the body's a bit further away.
time's ticking down here. 1:25 on the clock. Identity Crisis knows where Pink is. They're going to go for the challenge, and they go down. Identity Crisis is holding this round for WCO, one that was looking like a guaranteed point into the hands of Fake. Is now at least returning into a 2v1, but will they find the kills? They certainly should have all the information they need that a Crisis is in this corner.
Flashbang goes out.
Oh,
ID
no.
Crisis.
Again, out of sync. The Icy just way behind. The flash going to come there and does connect. And there's the smoke. Icy actually has that Identity Crisis vision denied. They can go in for the cap. Identity Crisis has to rotate.
That's trying to do a gun battle now through smoke here. Who can make land their shots? Icy's not going to be able to, as ID Crisis is really in great cover right now.
Well, I thought Identity Crisis was out of ammo there as we heard the click.
Nick, I'm stuck.
And interestingly enough, they couldn't seem to get past what was an invisible wall. They're fortunate that the blind spray from the Icy connects to find the final kill. But in a heck of an awkward push, Fake managed to get the W and are now up 3-2.
Yeah, great blind fire right there against ID Crisis. One thing Fake are gonna be watching this, and they're probably gonna look and see how did that 4v2 turn to a 1v1. The quick answer there is they were attacking one at a time. Pink went in there trying to get the kill. He died, and I think it was just after that it was 1 by 1 until just one guy left. There, as we mentioned, communication is key, and all it takes is one call out saying, just I'm going for res, or let me know when you're ready. and they could have had a nice 4-man push.
Yep.
And we could have had a different outcome there, but still, in the end, a win is a win. Fake got their 3rd point, and now it's a 3v2 map.
Can't all be perfect tactical pushes with teams that are still learning the game. But I shouldn't say learning the game, but learning the developing as teams. And so, yeah, maybe a lesson to be learned when they come back and review the VOD footage. And so, regardless, they get that W. And we are now into what I would presume to be a technical pause. Hopefully not for long, as we are waiting for the 5th of Fake to reconnect, and then we will be back into it. But correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't Fake the one last round on Suburbia with also a high KD, or was that? Or excuse me, was Pink OG the one with the high KD, or was that someone else on Fake?
That was, I think it was Pink. And looking now,
yeah, they're playing a heck of a series. 11-3 on our second map here, and I think they were like 7-2 or 7-3 on map 1. Again, I could be wrong. It could have been the one that disconnected. I'm blanking on the names. But
no, I think it was Skater actually that had the high KD.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong in the past, so who knows?
Regardless, it is a solid performance from Pink right now on this map. Again, to be 11-3 before we even get to the end of the map is very impressive. A lot of kills getting locked in by them. We'll see if they can get, well, maybe 5 more when we go into this next round and take this second map, push us in to a map 3 decider, something I am always looking for. And maybe something we can start thinking about as we have some downtime here. It is going to be WCO's map pick. We have some interesting maps on that pool. So, Arctic there, Paradise there. And I don't even think... Paradise, I don't even consider... I think that's also close. I mean, the pool, for the middle of the season, I wouldn't... There is obviously intention to have short, long, medium, and long-range maps, but it just feels like it is a bit shorter overall. And maybe that is just because of the bans that are happening, Downfall being banned out often enough, especially now that it's in the map pool. And, well, I guess we'll just have to see what we get. We do have is that a sub? Or was that...
Ed Raven? Yeah, that's a new sub. That's a new player I haven't seen yet, so... actually, also interesting is Ed Raven is also another player for Fake, who is also a player in the Echo Arena VRML. Still tidbit.
Cracked controllers over there, but yeah, you love to see it. Team history, they play. Yeah, I'd love to see the teams coming in from Echo and playing in Onward, and vice versa. Heck, if you enjoy VR esports, VRML is the place, and it provides multiple avenues to enjoy them. Hopefully, avenues that will grow and new ones that will come up next year. So keep your eyes peeled for the next great VR esports to get involved in. I'll tell you what, if you got your eyes peeled, you're looking at one that's great right now. As we get back into the action, Fake are filled the roster full as Ed Raven subs in. One that they have on their active roster. For those not in the know, the active roster has a total of 8 players allowed. Only 5 can play in a round, but that leaves you with 3 that you can bring in moments like this when you maybe have or need a specialist on a certain objective or map, or you're having technical issues.
Shit.
From what we can see here, a little trade there. Looks like Fake won't be aware of the actual kill count, whereas WCO is. And looked like, I think it was Sater. Yeah, it was Sater who died. He had a C4 on him, and he gave a teammate the detonator, because shortly afterwards, the C4 on his body did go off in anticipation for a member of WCO to be nearby, which is a common tactic to see here in Subway, to be the suicide bomber for the team in hopes that you become a good martyr and eliminate
God, put me
the
in a wall.
Marsakians.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
and
working.
I guess a little PSA with the
Yeah,
new
no.
build, the live build. There seems to be a bug in the basement of Subway up against this wall. It seems to be trapping players. It's now pink.
Yeah, no.
Just like
This is the best I can defend.
the other was last round, is stuck in this corner.
I don't like this. We gave
So
him too
pink
much.
can only
of the map.
hold this long line, and if they lose, well, I see Raven and Michael here. Pink literally cannot kill people capping, and so maybe we'll see a use case for the first time ever in a league match to defuse the objective. But I don't even know if these players know you can do that on defense because they're new to the game, and not even players, veterans know you can do that. And
Dude, if I
so
had Snap turning on, I could get
we'll
out
have
of
to
here, but I
see.
don't. I need to turn it
You
on.
sit
I
down
don't
the
know why
road.
I haven't.
You sit down the train tracks.
Yeah, from I'm listening to Pink OG there, and they're in full recognition of his situation.
Yeah, they are.
Don't think they're aware of, as you said, I don't think they're aware that they too have a code. Both teams have a code. It's actually the exact same code to either cap or defuse the objective. So, and that number is randomly generated in every round. And hopefully Pink is not the last one alive, but if he is, he can definitely punch in the code, defuse the uplink. It will give WCO 1 point, but it's better than giving WCO 2 points by allowing him to cap. So we shall see.
Aye. Well, hey, it's again a PSA to all watching, and maybe we can get a messaging out there to avoid this corner or something. I don't know, but it has trapped 2 players, 2 for 2. Would not recommend.
Oh, it's not a bug; it's a feature, right?
I mean, you know what? It actually is. It's you and your casting power is being abused because you talked about that door being new and effective, and it is now trapped defended. It's being, heck, it's certainly being effective. It's trapped the likes of Pink into that corner, and they're actually fortunate that they go down to the likes of Identity Crisis there, because again, it could be capped, but now Fake is down 3-2v4. So the round not
And
looking
just-
too great.
Yeah, and we finally get some peace and quiet as Riggs finally runs out of ammunition for his M249. That sounded more like an SA-80, I believe.
There. Uh-oh.
Oh. Riggs expecting
Oh
player to
my.
get the submission stairs. And wow.
A team kill followed by a player kill from the IC. We're into a 2v2. Just like that, make it a 1v2. Just a kill away from Fake taking map 2 and pushing us into a map 3 decider. Of course, if anyone's going to do it, we've seen Identity Crisis clutch and get several multi-kills throughout the course of their this series already. And we'll see if Fake overextend. They do, but the trade connects. The IC finds the kill. ID Crisis is down. And Fake take map number 2, 4-2. We are headed to a map 3 series decider.
And this is what we all want to see. And what we saw there in this round was just how quickly the tables can turn on a team there, with a TK there and a quick pick. Yeah, from a 4v2 to a 2v2 all the way down to a 2v1. Yeah, it doesn't take much for what could be a surefire win to be a tragic defeat.
Crazy that it rolls out that way, but how it rolls out. And Fake now have to battle against WCO's map pick. We are waiting to see where we're going to be taken for map 3. And if I had to wager, I'm thinking, well, I was going to be wrong. I was thinking Arctic. But we are headed to Bazaar. And again, it is all more close quarters than not, I would say, at least in this pool map rotation. But Bazaar definitely has a little bit more range than the other two maps we played so far today.
A little bit, yeah, just down the streets. But like I said, it's classified as a medium map, but it plays like a small map with all the buildings clustered together, lots of CQB action. This is always a fun map, not just to watch, not just a cast, but really just to play. So really looking forward to seeing how the map 3 decider being Bazaar plays out.
And because it is a map 3 decider, you're going to throw out the ever requested, ever sought after channel points prediction. Should be starting now if I've timed everything up correctly. And you can get your channel points out there and wager on who you think is going to come out on top. We are looking, I've mentioned this before, but hopefully we can do it when we come back from break. We're looking to expand the offerings we have for those channel points so that betting them and winning means a little bit more. And you'll come by for all of the games so that you can wager on all of the action. Again, something that we need to be doing for every map, but it is, well, it's hard to do. It's hard to juggle 6 bowling pins, and when you throw in a 7th, it adds. It sometimes can make you drop.
It could be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Correct. So we will certainly try and incorporate those in more often, and well, get your predictions in now while you have the chance. I think it's 5 minutes, and then you're locked in for map 3. Who you think is going to win? You got some time, because we are waiting for the 5th for WCO. Do you think we see a sub here for WCO? I'm trying to think. They have that full active roster to dip into. Do they have that 8 or even 7 or 6? Just an extra sub to pull from. Or maybe we're just waiting for that 5th to reconnect.
It could be a reconnect, but I do believe it was Fake that had the drop. But yeah, we could see a sub, I think. Yeah, we do see a sub. We see Ibar 941 drop in here, so we're not going to see all of WCO play tonight. We're going to see most of them, though.
Yeah, and you know, I love to see subs getting utilized even at this tier. It's something that I think is very valuable at a high level to have players that are exceptional at certain maps and are sort of your experts on that map. You'll bring them in, substitute out somebody that maybe is uncomfortable on a map like Bazaar, and it really empowers the team. It also can bring in fresh life if you kind of need that booster in energy. And so when you're talking about coming off of a loss like that, 4-2, it is definitely a good idea to bring in, hopefully, a specialist on Bazaar, someone, again, with fresh energy, and maybe it will be enough to boost the morale of WCO. They have to bounce back from a tough map 2 loss and try and scramble up a map number 3. We go in to the map decider. I will start. Hopefully the prediction's on time. I don't want to spoil you, so I guess remind me in between rounds next round. But the action is here. Round 1 has kicked off. Our first objective of the day. Let's find it over to the northeast.
Yeah, we have the East Market objective, which is always spicy. You can get some pretty in-tight caps, some really nice attacks, some really good defenses, though. And I believe it was the southwest spawn for WCO. I don't think they got the quick spawn.
No, I don't think they did either, especially based off their timing. I think that they had to first get over into that mini courtyard, and they're now trying to push forward. Ed Raven catching a bullet in the shoulder and quickly heals, but their position known for sure.
Yeah, and Lord Visceral making his presence known there with his M249, but it may have came to a fault as Satyr comes in with a nice headshot.
What a weird position from Satyr. Deep committed to this south swing here, and has caught one out on that rotation in the front of Kayat. They are going to continue to look for more here as ID Crisis nearly gets picked off. Ibar going to rotate over to Kayat. And while this is a good position for now, if Satyr stays here too long, they're so far away from objective.
Yeah, Satyr being in a not so common spot, but still very powerful spot.
Minus
and
one,
yeah,
minus
he
one.
could be out of rotation there, but it looks like he's looking to try and cut off someone from the south, which I don't think. No, he's looking for someone
I thought I
who
heard
isn't
another
there.
one, but just
He
to
looks like
check
he's
on
trying to be
right
trying to
side.
cover the rest of the market, but he's in an area where there's just a whole lot of stalls and tents. Very difficult to see who's all in the market, especially inside Kiot. Especially when majority of WCO, maybe not. They're still kind of west of market.
One right.
But, ooh. A nice Crusader, but a nice frame rate.
Two
Riggs.
friendlies up.
Very aggressive on that swing there. Feeling
Yeah, for the one
confident
that
with
was
the
kind of
kills they
playing
had
us.
gotten, but I think a bit overconfident there. Ends up costing them that advantage they had. And oh, a nice kill there from Ibar is pulling down this 4-2 to a 3-2 now. Fake just have to stay disciplined. Again, it is a key element on defense that I think would really work well against WCO. And well, I guess what do I know? They have the 3-2 advantage, so clearly their strategy is working right now as they are set up to defend and potentially take their Volk round.
Yeah, and to add on to that flank there from Sater, 2 kills for his own life, and a net sum game. Yeah, 2 for 1, that's pretty good. Usually for a flank, a good thing to do is once you get that pick, a good thing to do is just fall back to the objective. You are now in a man advantage. Always good to fall back, but even then, he still did a pretty good job there for taking out 2 players when his rather large flank there, and really slowing down this WCO offense.
And I know the action is tense, but I do want to shout out your boy Yash for dropping that Twitch Prime sub. We appreciate the support. Reminder that if you do have that Twitch Prime, to throw it out our way, the support ends up coming back to us casters who deliver you the intense action. Pink OG catching out Ibar. Again, a key element to this fake team, continuing to find kills even on defense as Riggs is alone in a 1v3.
Yeah, big shout out to your boy Yosh there. Big thank you. Even Nomad needs to eat sometimes. And
We do starve him
nice
otherwise.
yeah, if I don't cast well, I don't eat.
Yeah, this is going to
And,
cost you a
Rick there
couple
with a
of
nice pick.
servings here, this discussion, but talk about it post round. Riggs, yeah, that good pick there. And interesting, now Fake doesn't get over aggressive and they are staying tucked in, and so Riggs isn't going to find anything else, and I wonder what their approach will look like. They have 1:42 left. Oh, they're trying to get that nade up and over. That's a great toss. Doesn't get the icy though.
Not quite, but still a good ID from Riggs onto Icy there. Trade will result in, looks like it's Pink OG there staying alive and giving Fake their first round win on Bazaar.
They take our map 3 lead out the gate, but doesn't mean that it's over yet. Obviously, that first Volk round. I guess all Volk rounds, we talk about how they are oftentimes considered a Volk advantage. I like to point out that on some maps that is not the case. The case like Suburbia or Subway, certain objectives, I almost feel that Marsoc has an advantage. But the Volk rounds tend to go the way of Volk if the defense plays disciplined and around the OBJ. They don't expose themselves to early picks and really force that offense to play coordinated and attack. And, I say this, but when you get to that high level, that's also a risk because some teams can coordinate an attack. And then how do you counter the coordination and attack? It's all, again, the mental battle that goes on at every level. But regardless, swapping sides here will give WCO the opportunity to put up a nice, disciplined defensive round. And if we continue that way, we could be in store for a 3-3 round 7 map 3 decider, which is like bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, bases loaded.
Yeah, there you go. Good way to describe it. And as you mentioned there earlier about disciplined defense and trying to get these Volk round wins as a Volk advantage, it's you can be disciplined and hold these tight angles. It can work, yes, but as you said, there's some teams that know how to counter it. So knowing your team, knowing your opponents, a big thing here. So see some teams where they may lose the first few rounds of a map, but To them, that's just understanding how their opponent plays, and you'll sometimes see them just crush them at the end there and win the map. So let's see if how good of readers WCO is.
I'm having fun. It's a close game.
That subway was great fun.
Let me crush that booty real quick.
Oh, and I do like to hear the comms from WCO. I mention it every time, it feels like, which is a great thing. But these teams are always having a good time playing the games. I mean, that is the beauty of the VRML. No matter where you are in skill, you're always having a good time because you're playing good Onward, and that's the goal. That always has been the goal, is to allow a space for people to play competitive Onward, and the ladder does that. It puts you against teams that are of equal skill, and you just get fun and good matches. WCO there mentioning how great fun Subway was despite them even losing it. And so I just love to hear that mentality from the WCO squad.
Yeah, WCO, their primary goal as a team is to simply have fun, which is great to see. And when you're saying also, like, any team really, you're playing to have fun, and you're playing with friends. I mean, who doesn't want to play a video game with your friends?
Yep. Ibar about to kill some enemies. No friendlies near them as they're alone at the tank. Ed Raven is going to connect, though, and Ibar is not going to get the opportunity to shut down one of the lead killers for Fake. Pink OG there lives another day, and they're going to continue this push. Codemeister swinging out aggressive in through that alleyway, looking for anything. May catch Pink, and they do. Pink, unsuspecting of that off-meta swing.
The one that got
WCO back tied 4-4.
And we saw there what an aggressive defense, how it can be a positive and also a negative there. One member getting taken out, but then another aggressive defender getting a pick there to even things up. So an aggressive defense can be a pro and a con. Just depends on how you play it.
Movement key on.
Defensor? Is that what we're calling defenders now?
Oh, whoops, sorry. Oh, it's been a long day.
I like it. Codemeister trying to defend here up against the likes of Michael Higgins. Think of an attacker name. Was that Raven on the back gets Codemeister. That alley peek again, very risky because of that potential rotation.
Oh.
A team kill connects all the way there. A full kill at that. It's going to be a 3-3 Fake. Not necessarily throwing it away, but certainly making it a little bit easier for WCO.
Yeah, you can really see how tense this match is getting. Round 3 decider, you want to win. Yeah, you get a bit of an itchy trigger finger there. Yes, you do kill a teammate, but it does happen. Wow.
Riggs suddenly alone in a 1v2. Both Sater and Higgins finding big kills, a trade up through the alley. Nets everyone here.
Here comes Higgins. Tap it out.
No, he can't cap, though. He has to pass Riggs' line. And that's why Riggs defending there is important, because they can shut down what could have been a close push onto the objective. A bit of an out of sync one at that as well, as you see Sater was seemingly setting up for a swing to get coverage down through the alley, and then they could have pinched. But now Riggs could potentially res ID Crisis. We could be into a 2-1 for WCO. A lot of time left, 2:30 left. Finally, Sater's here, and well, now it's just going to be a matter of a 1v1 between these two, him and Riggs.
Yeah, and with 2 minutes, 25 seconds left, Sater has plenty of time to poke around, look for where the final defender is, and really just come up with a play here to get that second round win for his team. Taking his time, trying to hold the right angles to get that pick, but obviously Riggs holding a nice last man position, not exposing themselves to too many angles, and forcing Sater to really commit to the East Market to try and get the pick.
Hey, another sub coming in with Prime from Rebel Hero 96. Thank you so much for dropping that Twitch Prime sub. I do appreciate that support. Good as time as any to shout it out as we are waiting for this 1v1 to unfold. You got to look at that clock. That's going to be the indicator for when we're going to see the action. A minute and a half left yet. So Sater has time to sort of poke and prod a little bit longer. They're just looking for anything and really getting information. They're clearing out all of the potential positions that Riggs could be in. and then they'll make their advance knowing that, well, there's only one potential spot left. And so it really could come down to those last 30 seconds. And I think it would be the first round of this series that has gotten this late. I don't think we've got past that final minute mark yet.
There might have been one,
Yeah, there
but
might have
yeah,
been.
for the most part, it's been yeah, pretty close to down to like maybe a 4-minute mark. But yeah, who knows? When you're last man, you do want to take as much time as you can to try and figure out where the defenders are and try and get that win for your team, which 30-second buzzer should go off in their headsets right now.
Yep. I think that was a C4 detonation.
Sounded like a flashbang.
Oh, okay. Thought Sater there had grabbed the clacker, but I was mistaken. Smoke comes in, and Sater now pushing in, and still not really finding Riggs. They do
There we
finally
go. Wow.
connect. A big pickup for Sater. They drop to their
6
knees
seconds remaining.
in celebration. They realize only 6 seconds left on the clock, and a great use of time as they come very close to having that round go to WCO's favor. And you know, Riggs just caught in a tough spot. You have to hold that objective position, and you know there isn't really a better place to be to really guarantee defense. You know.
Yeah, that really is the last man standing position. Everywhere else, some other capping position is exposed. So, yeah, he was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a good job holding the angles, trying to stay disciplined, and a great pick by Sater there to give his team now a 2-point lead and potential to take map 3 here. But
Yeah, I mean, the energy now definitely into the hands of Fake. The objective certainly going their way, but we now change objectives. And so if there's ever an opportunity for WCO to throw up a MARSOC round and get set up, again, get those coals in the fire of the comeback train to tie this thing 2-2, now is that time. This objective in particular, one that can be capped with good smokes, and you know, at this stage, it's certainly a test of these teams. You know, this has been a hard-fought series. We're coming up at an hour and a half of game played, and to stay locked in and focused can be a challenge. We'll see if Fake can do it, if WCO can muster up a point or two. Map 3 is on as we go into round 3 for our series decider.
yeah, and with the quick spawn from WCO, it'll be interesting to see who gets the quick pick. And it'll be Pink OG onto Lord Visceral there, making the tough job of attacking that much tougher.
Yeah, it allows Pink now to get across to the south, have control of the south, and that's a big element of the push for WCO to get to this objective, to be able to rotate in from that south side. If they don't have that ability and have to worry about Pink or are going to get killed by Pink, definitely going to hurt and impact their offensive prowess. And Pink is going to continue to push here, continuing to get aggressive.
And looks like he's gonna hold up in a just as I said that. Another pick onto Codemeister at Humvee. And he is just wreaking havoc onto this WCO offense.
It's something that they
And he's
can
still moving.
It's something they can afford. You know, Fake has a comfortable lead 2-0 now. Even if a cap comes through, it's still only tied. And so they commit to getting that extra bit of aggression in. And it does net them a couple of kills, but on the meantime, WCO have found some of their own. So we're into a 3v3 with the final 3 around objectives. So Fake are set up and ready for this WCO push.
I'm really liking how Fake is holding up their defense here. 3 men inside the compound, watching pretty much or almost every potential avenue of approach here. And looks like everyone can be in an angle to get a potential refrag. So a really nice 3-man triangular defense. forcing WCO to be a little crafty here with their utility and coordination if they want to come up with a W.
Wonder how ID Crisis is going to even go to the south. Certainly don't need to, and it might be more effective to connect with your full team as 3 and make your entry from the souvenirs side in the bar and get utility out and push in through these lanes. There's certainly opportunity to find the picks they need, and so the setup phase is going to be important, but also the execution going to be even more important for WCO. They're really going to need to time up things together and push this as one, or they will just kind of funnel into this defense one at a time, and Fake will have 3 points in their pocket.
Yeah, and for that execution, Ibar will have to kind of pick up the pace here, but it looks like Identity Crisis, he's kind of taking his time, which is what he should be doing, which is perfect. Taking his time, wait for his teammates to catch up, and then they'll make their hard 3-man push here. So, good to see. And with 3 minutes left, they do have time to set up this execution phase.
Yeah, they do. Both rigs, and I mean, they got it all set up well enough now. Ibar coming in from that side is going to be huge, especially if Riggs flies up the stairs and draws appropriate attention. If Identity Crisis can distract or kill Ed Raven, there really is a route here for this team. The trouble is we almost saw a team kill there.
Oh, Identity Crisis just...
Yep. Thankful that they missed. The only time you'll be thankful that you missed your shots. But thankful that they missed as Ibar lives another day. And, well, it could have been a res, but that certainly would have thrown a wrench in the setup of this WCO because they need Ibar there to pinch in from the other side to draw the attention of both Higgins and Icy and to allow for Riggs to go up the stairs. But Riggs is not here at the stairs in time. Ed Raven finds one. They may be able to find another now as both Riggs and Ibar have to push in. Riggs is going to get Ed Raven down. So it is a 2v2.
A nice pick and a nice rotation, forcing Icy to really concentrate on that door, expecting a push there. Great time to get that res, but just comes out. So great play by Riggs there to really help bolster the team. And a trade comes from Michael Higgins and Ibar to the south.
While that happened, that res came through. And so we're into a 1v2 here with the IC certainly aware of Riggs' position and that clock ticking down. And if IC doesn't rotate off here, they know that that IC is positioned on this corner. And so, yeah, there's going to need to be a shift in where they are holding their lines. And maybe this will be enough to catch Riggs off or be their demise as Riggs finds the kill and WCO managed to get a point on the board here on Bazaar and, again, start that comeback train. They got their Marsoc win. Now they just put up a disciplined defense and take away another point. They could be tied up again for map 3, 2-2. On track for the 3-3 scoreline I predicted.
Which is what we're all hoping for right here.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of a rough start for WCO at the beginning there with Pink OG getting 2 picks on his flank there, but a great way to execute on the final few seconds, whittling it down to basically a 2v1 there. Hard to say if they were aware it was a 2v1 with the trade there. Sometimes you might think you lost a teammate, and you might think you're still down to a 3v2, but no, they did a great job of attacking from multiple angles, great job with the reses, and great job with the rotations too. So ultimately, that came down to how the win came out.
Yeah, you know, it seemed like there for a second WCO was not their normal selves. You know, they were playing much slower than they have on offense. But it could also be an adjustment in strategy. You know, their quick attacks clearly not working well for them on Subway. You know, they ended up throwing themselves into some deaths that maybe they could have avoided if they had played a bit more conservatively, a bit more patient. And so that last round, definitely slower, down to a minute left on the clock, and they did come out on top. So a shift in their overall strategy does net them at least 1 point. We'll see what we get, though, because Fake are still riding the high of momentum. As they have the lead 2-1, they are going on the attack. Heck, if they can cap that series in their pocket.
Yeah, as you said there, a great adjustment by WCO there. That is what you see from teams who will win games. And like you said, a cap will end this series here. And there is a potential for the cap, especially since WCO believes there's a quick spawn. And really, it was actually a north spawn.
Yeah, I think it was just Riggs swinging and pre-firing, kind of hoping they would connect on anybody that tried to cross. And since they didn't identify anything, they've since dropped off. But they only have 4 mags, I think, max. So they've already burnt through 1. They're burning through a second. They have to save some for the attack because the Icy and Satyr are aware of their positions. Lord Visceral gets Higgins trying to cross the south. And Ibar is getting counter-aggressive here, but Satyr seems to be ready.
Yeah, you had a 2-man defense crossing watching the west cross of Main Street there. And now, like I said, Ibar trying to be pushy here. Yeah, gotta be careful though. If you get too pushy, you might be out of position and you could get capped on. But good to see that Ibar is holding an
Fox
angle.
down in blue room. Fox down in blue room. Coming
Riggs
out
with
from
a nice
hotel
shot there.
courtyard.
There's
Yeah.
an AKM there.
I like that angle too. Very tight, using the stairs, just looking over the tank to catch anyone popping out of that blue room. A good pickup, but nets WCO a very nice, comfortable 5-2. As Ibar's aggression does connect with Satyr, and it's up to the Coyote pair, Ed Raven and Pink OG. And I suppose if you're gonna have it be up to anybody, Pink OG is as good as anyone to have there. They've found plenty of kills so far this series.
Yeah, I think he was, what, 11-3 on Subway. We had a little break there. So, yeah, Pink OG definitely knows how to shoot. That's there's no denying that.
That's a tire.
Pink OG identifying a tire to be Volk, but no, sorry, bud, that's not an enemy. You can shoot that tire all you want. You're not going to get a kill.
Better safe than sorry. Do have
Yeah,
the bullets
those
to
tires-
spare.
I mean, tires could kill. You never know.
But bit of a hush as Fake down to just 2 are trying to think even what to do with this attack now. They're kind of stuck in this small bazaar, and the push out is challenging to say the least. To get control of this street is very important for them to get to objective, but it is very much into the hands of WCO. Lord Visceral and Ibar commanding here on the catwalk on the corner, ready to go. They have the overwatch from Riggs. They have full control of this corner and this street. And so without utility or smokes, Fake is going to have a tough time with this.
Nice pick by Ed Raven there onto Ibar, opening things up a little bit. Oh, wow.
Explosion, I'm down.
That was a nice nade.
Yes, indeed it was. Flash there to make sure that he's blind, and there's the full confirm. Ed Raven up last on the hit list, and Riggs is going to connect the shots. WCO are chugging along their comeback train tracks. They tie this up 2-2, and the lead squandered there from the likes of Fake.
Yeah, things were looking pretty good there at first, but then again, WCO, their experience really showing here, their map knowledge showing there, with like it was Riggs there having a nice patio defensive position, scoring 2 kills. I think it was 2 kills there for that whole map, and towards the end there, Ibar and Lord Visceral commanding just from that one spot half the map really, without really those smokes really to get any sort of cross, be it the main street or the northeast street. But yeah, great work by WCO there to hold that objective.
Shout out while we have the downtime to all the folks tuning in for this series. It has been a long one, but a dang good one. We appreciate you sticking through all the way till the end. For those that have been hanging out, we do appreciate it. Those are VR Immersions, your boy Yash. Hero C, Steve Jameston. Who else is in here? Rebel Hero 96. We appreciate everybody that has been hanging out and catching the action today. We also obviously appreciate the support that has been coming through, whether it's through the Twitch Prime or just hitting that follow button so that you come back another day, as we do regular broadcasts here on this channel. On the weekends, you can cast action over on twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. It is our general channel that we utilize to broadcast games from all of our leagues. And those games are also then sent to Horizon Venues, an application you can download on your Quest or Quest 2. And it will allow you to watch the games in a movie theater with other people. A movie theater-like space with other people. It's a really cool free app that I recommend you go download and check out this weekend. That's Saturday, 6 p.m. PST, and Sunday, 12 p.m. PST. That's when you can catch the action over on twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague, Facebook, YouTube, and Horizon Venues. So be sure to stop in and get it. Also, I suppose, while we have even more downtime here, a good as time as any to shout out our sponsors. For those not in the know, the top 8 teams at the end of the regular season compete against each other for a chance to secure prizing that is offered up by our sponsors and the league. Those sponsors include ProTube VR, which make great VR mounts, VRWare, which make great VR covers, VRWare, which make great all of our merch, so I do recommend you go check them out and pick yourself up a VRML shirt for the holidays. Arma, which has, we have a code VRML, I believe that's still active for the Arma discount, in which case you can snag yourself a high-quality VRML jersey. We also have VRML contributing to that prize pool. VR Cover, they make great covers for your VR headset. And Border Foods, one of our newer additions to that sponsor list. They are one of the larger Taco Bell franchises in the Midwest. You can learn more about the partnership at borderfoods.com/VRML. I think that's it. And it's right on time. Round number 5 kicking off here. Both teams using all of that mid-round time to strategize.
Yeah, it's really getting serious now here. 2-2, map 3 decider. Cap can end it, and this is a very capable objective as well. So both teams here really want to come up with a W here. So not surprising that they took a little extra time here to really finalize any strategies needed to come up with a dub. And looks like WCO here is going to have the west spawn. Codemeister poking out pretty rapidly to watch the cross onto apartments. Will not find anybody yet.
Yeah, oftentimes that west spawn utilized for a very quick push across the street, but instead it's going to be a bit more methodical from the likes of WCO. They found success off that slow pace. And they're starting things off good here by being patient. Codemeister catching out an over-aggressive rotation there from the likes of the Fake defense. It sets up Fake right away for a 4v5. And the momentum really now going against them. Another kill connects. The defense on objective getting picked off very fast. And this is going to lead to a potential cap opportunity. There's only 2 left for Fake on objective.
Yeah, it looks like a overextended defense there from Fake, trying to get to the far east side of the map. Unfortunately, it did not quite work out, as Riggs does find that extra kill there. They also did not spot the west crosser until it was too late when a kill was made out onto the west alley. Not really a kill, more of a down onto West Michael Higgins there. But
Code's inside. Code's inside. Pink finds the kill. A massive kill. Literally behind the back of the Icy. Icy's now going to swing there and just make sure. You can hear Pink kind of scolding Icy, saying that could have been a cap. And after all that scolding, they find themselves dead. The 2 of them from Lord Visceral's gun.
Good shit.
And a great round for WCO. Again, riding this comeback train. They're up 3-2.
yeah, what a play. Great job on the early pick. That's what you want to see from there. Is just obviously Fake trying to make the late rotation onto apartments, realizing that apartments, the second floor, is powerful, but with that late of a rotation does get a pick, and then with that one guy going far east, yeah, just a little, maybe just a little too aggressive for this particular objective, especially considering that we are in a such a tie race here for map number 3. Unfortunately, the aggression didn't quite work out, and hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, the overall score line now for WCO versus Fake, 9-7. I had to buy myself some time to do that math. 9-7, WCO have the 2-round lead, but I mean, it just, it's crazy. It goes to show you how close the series has been overall, and even now, with WCO in a space of comfort and going on to their Volk round, all they need is a disciplined defense to get them the W. It has not been easy, and Fake have really battled every round, it seems, even on the ones that they lost on Suburbia 4-1. And I don't anticipate this next round to be any easier for the likes of WCO. And so we'll have to see what we get. I'm sure Fake, again, utilizing this time between rounds to really hash out their strategy, make sure everybody's locked in on the plan. And with an opposite spawn from WCO, we may see a different approach to this objective. We go back into the action for round number 6.
Yeah, Fake here really utilizing the lessons learned in their past 13 matches played so far this season here. Really put up a strong fight for WCO to earn every round they have won so far. But then again, it's the opposite is true here. WCO has been put up a good fight for Fake here to earn every round they got so far.
We need that blue room clear if you want a chance of a cap.
Fair, but we can try. Yep, man, what we got.
Fake defense all branching off, one staying in Kayat, one going around to the east, the other 3 staying together and making their west approach. Higgins, Raven, and Pink OG. It's the long swing, and it's going to be a bit late, which will hopefully catch Codemeister sleeping, not watching the angle and watching something else. Have to see. It's interesting. There was a season where we didn't have smokes played or being able to used in the league. And at a moment like this, it almost feels like a smoke not being deployed would benefit them more. Codemeister wouldn't hear anything, wouldn't be inclined to look to that side, and really, they could potentially pass under the nose of the defense.
Yeah, the season you're speaking of was season 10, and you gotta be careful Codemeister with a nice pick onto Ed Raven.
Fox 1 on the west. Fox 1 on the west.
Here, 3 well-placed smoke grenades would definitely help Michael Higgins here. And as a player, I know for sure from season 10, it was an interesting season to not have smoke grenades cover your crosses.
I really enjoyed it. It was cool. It forced players to play a little bit differently. We saw different styles, and since then, we've seen those styles kind of just get worked into the playbook of teams. Sometimes they'll deploy a strategy like that, and it works. Codemeister finally going down. Michael Higgins able to reconnect, and at the very least, it gets a kill up there for Fake. But WCO in the 4v3, probably feeling pretty good right now. Just need to stay, again, disciplined and tucked in, not overexpose, overcommit, go for any sort of over-aggressive flank. They will have this series locked in as we are on series point for WCO.
Yeah, WCO recognizing the score line, playing a very, very tight defense here, really not wanting anyone to get inside to get a cap to try and lock down this final round win.
Yeah, true.
But they gotta be careful, because if one player gets caught sleeping, someone could get inside and get the cap as
Careful here.
was it Codemeister, I think it was last round? Yeah, almost got the cap themselves.
Body, call it, so we know. Alright, I'll go.
Vader and Pink rotating here over to the east. Going to result in a bit of a slower eventual push from the overall Fake team. Means Michael has to stay patient, and they've caught Ibar out. And when I saw Ibar's position, I felt like that was one of the only ones that really was out of place. Everybody else was tucked in and ready to go, but Ibar exposed to the likes of, well, Michael Higgins, who finds the kill, now takes things to a 3-3.
Yeah, and as soon as Ibar went down, Identity Crisis, recognizing the threat, immediately moved to the back of the OBJ building to try and cover off what Ibar was unable to watch anymore. So a great situational awareness from Identity Crisis.
Higgins doing a nice job of tucking in here.
I know I got one.
Keeps themselves unexposed. Lord Visceral not able to catch an angle. And Higgins just waiting for Crisis to rotate through that window. Waiting for another peek. And
Meanwhile,
if they find
go
that
ahead.
kill, Riggs has to rotate. The timing could really work out. If Crisis goes down within the next 30 seconds, Riggs will follow. And, oh, that's a big pickup to come in there from Lord Visceral. They find Higgins seemingly getting aggressive. They pushed off of their corner spot, and it exposed them. So Visceral finds that kill. And now everyone can focus their attention onto the duo over in the east. A minute 20 left, and so time is of the essence. This duo going to need to push both Satyr and Pink OG, the final two for Fake.
1 minute, I'm going.
yeah, and if they push this attack right,
What corner?
they could open themselves up for a cap, because the third defender for WCO, that is Riggs, he's way off objective. He's to the southwest still.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's move.
true. Identity Crisis right there.
Satyr, you gotta
Oh
get the
no,
cap
and
on
Riggs
Peaceful
is
to do
gonna connect. No, he doesn't spot. Identity Crisis goes down on objective. Pink
Another
gonna
down.
cross in front of Riggs' line of sight, and Riggs does connect with one. And now as they swing out, the final kill comes in from Satyr, and what was looking like WCO
Too stressful.
taking
He's just
the
doing this to me.
series comes down to this 3-3. Satyr, I agree. This is a great stress-packed battle, and it's what makes it so fun to watch. You just see the pressure mounting up on the shoulders of these players, and you get to see what a player can do under that pressure. Sometimes you get crazy performances, and well, we're certainly getting a dang good back and forth here today, as I do remain accurate on my prediction, and we come down to a 3-3 map 3 series decider. Satyr saying this is too stressful. Well, it's only going to get even more stressful now as we switch objectives over to the East Tank OBJ. If there was going to be any objective, I would say this one is probably the most 50-50. In terms of it can be defended, but if you lose certain elements, then you have to rotate, and those rotations can catch you out. It can be capped, but if you don't have the right smokes, you're going to get shot. And so it is a great round, a great objective to end this whole thing on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. This could go either way. It's all about the crosses, really.
Yeah.
If you can cross the streets, your chances of winning as a Marsoc player, or even as a Volk player for that matter, definitely shoot up. So it's all about how you utilize your utilities and how you cross those streets. And we're not going to be waiting any length of time because they're ready to go. They want to end this match right here, right now.
There's no other time to end it. There's the last round in the series, and it all comes down to this. Fake on the defense. WCO on the attack.
And I want freaking blessing. Give me some. Godspeed, let's go.
And Fake, they've been shouting us out. They've been saying hello. We appreciate the support. It's, why we like doing these casts, because the players in the community love them. Well, at least I think they do.
And it's always a good time to cast. Doing commentary is always a good time.
Very true. Super fun to be catching this and able to catch all of this great back and forth. On board Ed Raven, who's made an aggressive advance on defense, one that could net them some early kills if WCO isn't prepared. And speaking of early kills, Satyr catches one. Michael looking for more. Satyr is getting pushed.
I killed one.
Riggs has managed to cross.
Michael not quite able to get the pick onto Riggs, but Riggs will get the pick onto Satyr.
Fox down,
Jeez,
Fox
that
down.
MCX
right
is
far,
so
south,
quiet.
East corner, southwest corner.
It is quiet and it's got one
Also, we got
wicked
the
rate
friendly
of
down.
fire
We got
because
4.
it doesn't take much to squeeze the trigger to eliminate a player. Because you think you fired 5 rounds, but really you probably fired off about 10 if you squeeze it just short enough.
I just went into Riggs' perspective, and we got to pull up the KD here. Got to pull up the scoreboard. They are 14-3 on this map. That is a insane performance from one player on a map in a VRML series. So props to them. 14-3 and on the hunt for more as they continue this southeast push.
Yeah, you'll get some of these players. It's not very often, but you get these players who feel just so comfortable with one map. They feel like they know it better than the back of their hands, and you'll see them rack up the kills one by one by one, and you'll think they're just carrying the team, but really they're just doing a bang-up job in supporting the team, opening up holes, whether it be in the defense or opening holes in the offense. And you'll get moments like this where you got 14 kills in 7 rounds, and you're still getting more kills.
Well, at least looking for more, as Michael Higgins is the next target on the hit list for Riggs. Fortunately enough, Higgins is playing disciplined and not overextending, and so they will go undetected up against that wall a little bit longer. But we are here in a 4v4 with only 3 minutes left. WCO seemingly setting up for that patient push that has netted them rounds on offense so far. It's just a matter of executing it all accurately, and we'll have to see what happens on this push as utility starts to come out. And the rotation there from Pink OG cost them their life. A key killer for Fake goes down, and the Icy trying to connect with Lord Visceral now.
And that definitely opens up the north now for Identity Crisis and Ibar. All they have to do is really take down Ed Raven, and the objective is open.
Oh no. The Icy going down there. Ibar catching that out. They need this res from Higgins now. They need to get back up to 3 at least so they can properly cover any sort of rotation here. And man, they are fortunate that the IC doesn't get confirmed there. That's a radio beacon they can utilize if anyone does decide to push across the street, but they do have to watch a lot now as WCO starts to press in from all sides.
Yeah, we're starting to see the squeeze here now from Identity Crisis and Ibar here from the north. If they can play it right, they could be a heck of a distraction here for Riggs here. If he moves up just in time, you get this north 2-man push, creating a distraction. Riggs coming in from behind, scoring those kills. I see it again, time and time again.
Oh,
Like just like that one right there. And that's kill number 15 for him.
crazy.
Just on this map alone.
They're on track for 16 now as Riggs is going to continue to swing back. Pink gets confirmed. Or no, full killed there. So down they go, and it is all up to Ed Raven, who actually is probably in the best spot to be. It's a bit off meta. It's forward and past the smokes. It could catch a duo here. If ID Crisis and Ibar extend at the same time, this could be a nice double quickly for Ed Raven, and then they can potentially tie things up just a bit. Here comes the suppressive fire, and oh no! They drop the angle as the cross comes. And are they going to go for the cap? Do you even get the cap in this situation? You do. ID Crisis has the tablet out. Ibar does as well. Ed Raven catches one, and the code is getting entered here. ID Crisis punching it in. Raven trying to get back in time and cannot. WCO take the final map with a cap of all things. The only cap in the series, and one that nets them a scoreline of 5-3. Wow.
I knew there had to be a cap. There has to be a cap. Maybe it's the last round. There was, so thankfully there was a cap. But what you saw there, I'm not sure maybe you heard it, but you had Identity Crisis and Ibar there, and Ibar he wasn't actually capping. He actually had tablet out, and he was reading out the code
Yeah.
for Identity Crisis to cap. So great teamwork right there.
I mean,
And
if they hadn't, imagine how long that could have taken. I mean, say they weren't that far away from rotating back. Ed Raven wasn't that far from popping out of blue room, having 3 players in a line and finding a triple for the win. And so, 10 more seconds and Fake are instead our victors 4-3. But WCO get that code, they get the cap, and the overall scoreline for them now ends at 11-8. So able to get just a few more points on the board to boost that MMR gain off of the series win. But man, what a great series to tune into here tonight in the middle of our week. Like I said, there is more action prepared for the rest of the week. Tuning in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there will be games. If you want to know when, you can head on over to vrml.com/onward/matches and see when the next broadcast will be going live and where. You can also vote for what matches you want to see cast and who you think will be the winner of each match. Nomad, any final thoughts on the series?
Wow. Just great action. Great work from a team that is new to the VRML in Season 12 here. Obviously, like I said, this was their 14th match so far of this season, and
It's nuts.
They've learned a lot probably because they were going toe-to-toe with a team that's been playing since Season 10.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hold your heads up high there, Fake, because you did a fantastic job. But still, GG's to WCO. Great job for the win. Definitely glad I joined you on this cast here.
Yeah, me too. A great performance, like you said, from WCO. Really, again, fun to tune into. And it's why we like to cast. So, a shout out to the teams for putting off a great show. A shout out for everyone tuning in. A shout out to all of our sponsors for helping promote and sponsor the league with great prizing and products and discounts. And I think I already shouted you all out for tuning in, but you get a second one. That'll be it for us here at the desk, though. My name has been NightFiree with 2 E's. It still will be and is always my co-caster Nomad. We will see you all Friday for more game time. Maybe tomorrow, but most likely Friday, and then Saturday at 6, Sunday at 12. Be sure to tune in then. But until next time, stay classy.
Good night, guys.